Hi, Chris Meaden here again. Yesterday I was telling you about addictions, and I've been busy filming to go through a number of exercises to be able to collapse the desire I want to do the addictive behaviour. And most recently I've been getting a lot of calls the last 7 days or so on addiction of cocaine. Now, the thing is with cocaine, it's so readily available and it's almost like a socially acceptable drug, certainly in the southeast here, you know, it's just everywhere. Now, the problem with cocaine is that often it's taken after having a drink, and then the lack of, the individual has a lack of control over that desire, that want to have it, and then they seek out to have some cocaine. But you know, the thing is with all addictions is that we look at what it's going to give us, what it's get us to, and often when we look at addiction, it's recognizing the necessity of doing it. And what I mean by that is that yeah, there's a euphoric feeling, that sensation of taking cocaine, that rush and that elevated level of confidence, but that period is only short-lived for a small period of time, and you know, just the very aspect of deciding to take some, getting the supplier to provide to you, there's all that building up of excitement, that anticipation of getting it to then have it and then get that experience. But the problem with it is that you know, ultimately how destructive it can be, how it can destroy marriages, destroy families, destroy relationships, and it can very quickly get out of hand. Now, you know, ultimately, you know, there's the social aspect of it. Other people are doing it, maybe in your friendship groups, you know, but often it's also disguising a level of stress that you're experiencing in your life. So, you know, people initially might take a behaviour on to have enjoyment with friendships or whatever, but then it becomes at some point a coping mechanism to deal with stresses of life, okay? And that could be financial, it could be career, it could be relationships, it could be family issues, health issues, whatever it may be, and then it becomes like a crux to then use that to feel more relaxed, more calm. And you know, when you think about doing the behaviour, it's just that initial frame of how, like, having that experience. But if you run the movie in your head further, well, okay, if I keep doing this, you know, it's going to cost me hundreds of pounds every month, sometimes even more. Some people I've seen ridiculous amounts of money into thousands every month. And how destructive that can be, because you know, you have to be, one, earning lots of money to be able to have that disposable income, but you know, two, how destructive it is in your family, in the people you're around. So when you run the movie, okay, I could lose my job, I wouldn't be able to function in my job, I'll lose my relationship, okay, I could then lose my house, I could lose my family, my connections. Then you start to run, well, okay, then this behaviour is not actually so positive in its behaviour. Now, what we're able to do now with the latest advancements in neuroscience, we have a better understand of how our brain does the reward cycle, and through the new techniques which we now have available, we can very quickly remove that physical, emotional desire to want the behaviour, want to do that behaviour. It's surprising how fast you can do it. Now, I go through a process of first clearing whatever person's stresses are going on, because a stressor or something which is going on, a person will do the behaviour to escape how they're feeling, they're wanting to change it, how they're feeling, to let go or whatever that may be. And then secondly, there's the actual behaviour and the desire and want to do that. And we're able to very quickly change your mindset. Now, of course, it's obviously that aspect of your lifestyle, and looking at a lifestyle, you know, should you be still hanging out with those people which are doing it, you know, because ultimately, how destructive is it to your relationships who are, you know, important to you? But you know, we have a sequence of techniques we can use now to clear that desire and want to do that behaviour, and able to attach some repulsion to it where there's just no way. And you know, people have done it and tried to override it, and have come out in hives. They've had projectile vomit, all kinds of responses, which means that the desire or the want to do it is just diminished, and it's no longer a behaviour you want to do. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea as to how, you know, we can clear addiction for cocaine, and it's a very similar situation for whether or not it's cannabis, weed, and other types of drugs. So I just thought I'd let you know, and have to think about, you know, people around you. Are people around you just doing too much of stuff? You know, you can often see it through the erratic behaviour those people are displaying. So until next time, I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.